NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announces the number 9th overall pick to the New York Giants, Wierzbicki. With their quarterback situation in shambles, the Redskins are sniffing around about trading up in the NFL draft, reports Jason Canfora of NFL.com. Canfora speculates that the play for the Redskins could be to trade from No. 15 to get the Jets pick at No. 3. That would allow them to jump ahead of the Giants at No. 6 and snatch Ohio State QB Dwayne Haskins from them, if he is indeed who the Giants are targeting. Aside from the Giants and Redskins as candidates who could try to deal with the Jets for No. 3. Canfora mentions the Broncos and Jaguars, but doubts either would do it. Jets GM Mike Maccagnan made it known on February 27 that the number 3 pick was available to any team, even the Giants. Yeah? I think I'd be open to any team, as long as the trade made sense to us, Maccagnan said at the NFL Scouting Combine. There's nothing that would stop us from doing that. The Giants have been heavily connected to Haskins, who is expected by many to be the second quarterback off the board after Kyler Murray, who has been linked to the Cardinals at No. 1. Meanwhile, Giants GM Dave Gettleman recently said he wanted to follow the Kansas City model, meaning the Giants would draft who they hope is their future franchise quarterback, while Eli Manning mentors him at least at the start of the 2019 season. After Haskins' pro day, head coach Pat Shurmur, OC Mike Shula, SVP of player personnel Chris Mara, scout Chris Pettit, and assistant GM Kevin Abrams had dinner with him, according to the NFL Network's Mike Garofalo. November 23, 2018, Morgantown, West Virginia, USA. West Virginia Mountaineers quarterback Will Grier, 7, celebrates during the second quarter against the Oklahoma Sooners at Mountaineer Field at Milan Puskar Stadium. Mandatory credit, Ben Queen. USA Today Sports. Ben Queen. After watching Dwayne Haskins put on a show in his pro day at Ohio State, the Giants are back on the road to see more top quarterback prospects in action on Thursday. According to SNY's Ralph Vacchiano, Pat Shurmur will be present in Morgantown, West Virginia to watch Will Grier and the rest of the Mountaineers perform at their pro day. Grier is another intriguing quarterback prospect, though he isn't considered to be a first-round talent. The 6'1", 214-pound Grier has an interesting college story that began at Florida in 2015. He was expected to lead the Gators following his freshman season, but a PED suspension for taking an over-the-counter substance led him to transfer to West Virginia. He had to sit out the entire 2016 season, as is the rule for transfers, and he showed out in his junior season. Dave Gettleman. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskarin. USA Today Sports. Danielle Parhiskarin. Ralph Vacchiano. Facebook, Twitter. Archive. The Giants now have 12 picks in the upcoming NFL Draft, which gives them a chance to fill a lot of holes and strengthen a lot of weak positions. It's very early, but here's a look at how those 12 picks could go. First round, No. 6 overall, Rashawn Gary, Michigan. March 2, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins, QB05, runs the 40-yard dash during the 2019 NFL Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock. USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock. Ohio State hosted many NFL teams at their pro day on Wednesday, and though Nick Bosa didn't participate in any drills, top-rated QB Dwayne Haskins showcased his talents on the indoor turf. And the results were impressive. Experts on hand to watch the 6'3", 231-pound Haskins sent rave reviews out through Twitter after watching him go through his full workout, where he missed only a couple throws. The consensus was Haskins hits all the marks physically, and he showcased his arm strength and accuracy the entire time. See what experts said. March Madness is officially underway as the NCAA tournament has kicked off. So, in the spirit of the big dance, SNY's loudmouths decided to make their very own bracket, but not the one you're thinking of. Instead, Sal Licata and John Hein has compiled a bracket of the best New York transactions since the start of 2018. And who's the No. 1 overall seed? If you guessed Odell Beckham Jr., you're correct. Is there any other transaction that can top the Giants sending away one of the most talented NFL players in the game right now? Pat Shurmur mandatory credit, Brad Penner USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, when Giants GM Dave Gettleman faced the media over a conference call on Monday to discuss the Odell Beckham Jr. trade, he simply said the move was purely a football decision. "We didn't sign him to trade him, but obviously things changed," Gettleman said. "Another team made us an offer we couldn't refuse, so what does his head coach Pat Shurmur think about one of his most lethal offensive weapons moving on to Cleveland?" He is on Gettleman's side. November 24, 2018, Columbus, Ohio, USA. Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback Dwayne Haskins, 7, throws a pass against the Michigan Wolverines at Ohio Stadium. Mandatory credit, Greg Bartram USA Today Sports. Greg Bartram, Giants GM Dave Gettleman has recently sounded like someone who's itching to take a quarterback with the No. 6 overall pick in the upcoming NFL Draft. On Tuesday, a Giants contingent attended the pro day for Ohio State QB Dwayne Haskins. After Haskins' pro day, head coach Pat Shurmur, OC Mike Shula, SVP of player personnel Chris Mara, scout Chris Pettit, and assistant GM Kevin Abrams had dinner with him, according to the NFL Network's Mike Garofalo. According to SNY's Ralph Vacchiano, Shurmur was present at the pro days for every top quarterback in last year's NFL draft and have been expected to do the same this year. Last week, they were in Oklahoma for QB Kyler Murray's pro day and should also be present at Drew Lock's showcase at Missouri on Friday, November 25, 2018. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, 13, and running back Saquon Barkley, 26, in the tunnel before game against Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Mandatory credit, Eric Hartline USA Today Sports. Eric Hartline. Before the world found out about the blockbuster trade between the Giants and the Browns, Saquon Barkley received a call from Odell Beckham Jr., the highlight of the deal. "We talked over FaceTime, he had just gotten traded, so I don't think he was really happy about it," Barkley told NJ.com's Matt Lombardo after Penn State's pro day on Tuesday, where the former Nittany Lion went to support his former teammates. "He just gave me some advice about how to handle stuff in the league. He was the same old big brother to me that he's always been." Barkley was out in Los Angeles with WR Sterling Shepard and Evan Engram working out together in preparation for the upcoming season. Beckham has also been out in LA doing the exact same, but he had been out in Paris when he got the call from GM Dave Gettleman that he was moving him to Cleveland. August 30, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning, 10, shakes hands with New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, 12, after their game at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Vincent Carcietta USA Today Sports. Vincent Carcietta, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. Dave Gettleman was absolutely right when he said, "This narrative that Eli Manning is overpaid and can't play is a crock. Of course he can play. Just look at his numbers from last season. And he's not even one of the top 10 highest paid quarterbacks in the league anymore." Yet somehow over the last few years, Manning's detractors have taken his late career decline to ridiculous extreme. They make it sound like he's a 50-year-old who can't heave the ball 10 yards anymore, while he's eating up half of the team space under the salary cap. March 3, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Alabama defensive lineman Quinnen Williams, DL19, goes through workout drills during the 2019 NFL Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock. The Giants have several needs to address throughout the remainder of the offseason, not simply the future at quarterback. One position group that could use an influx of dynamic talent is the defensive line. On Tuesday, defensive coordinator James Bedger and defensive line coach Gary Emanuel attended Alabama's pro day, specifically to check out defensive line prospect Quinnen Williams. According to Paul Schwartz of the New York Post, Williams is a projected top 5 draft pick, and the Giants hold the 6th and 17th overall picks in the first round. If he does slide to the Giants, though, perhaps his talent will be too much for Dave Gettleman to pass up, even though the general manager desires to secure the franchise's quarterback of the future sooner rather than later. March 2, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins, QB05, throws a pass during the 2019 NFL Combine at Lucas Oil Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock. USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock. The Giants will be well represented at Ohio State Pro Day on Wednesday, according to NJ.com. Both Pat Shurmur and offensive coordinator Mike Shula are expected to be in attendance, presumably to focus on former Buckeyes quarterback Dwayne Haskins. The Buckeyes will also have other top-tier talent performing, such as pass rusher Nick Bosa and defensive tackle Draymond Jones. According to SNY's Ralph Vacchiano, the coaching duo were present at the pro days for every top quarterback in last year's NFL draft and are expected to do the same this time around. Last month, they were at Oklahoma for QB Kyler Murray's pro day and should also be present at Drew Lock's showcase at Missouri on Friday. New York Giants general manager Dave Gettleman speaks to the media during the 2019 NFL Combine at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Brian Spurlock, USA Today Sports. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. Dave Gettleman was absolutely right when he lamented the fact we're living in an instant gratification world during his conference call on Monday. There's a rush to judge everything, a demand for an immediate payoff. Everyone wants to be first with a knee-jerk reaction or a juvenile social media take. And so, it was with the Giants' trade of Odell Beckham Jr. And, really, their entire offseason. Gettleman didn't get nearly enough for his star, some screamed. He has no plan, yelled others. Tweet by tweet, it was clear the world of keyboard warriors believed he didn't have a clue. Giants GM Dave Gettleman, Noah K. Murray, USA Today Sports. While Giants GM Dave Gettleman will not divulge much on what his plan is, he sounds as if he is ready to take a quarterback in the draft this April. After addressing reporters via conference call earlier in the day, Gettleman went on WFAN with Mike Francesco where he was asked about whether or not he still wants to find the future quarterback of the franchise. Obviously we have to address it, Gettleman said. I'd be a real clown not to admit it. New York Giants offensive tackle Eric Flowers blocks as Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive end Robert Ayers rushes during the second half at Raymond James Stadium. Kim Clement, USA Today Sports. Landon Collins isn't the only former Giants player to join the division rival Redskins. Former Giants offensive lineman Eric Flowers will sign a one-year, $4 million deal with Washington, according to Pro Football Talk. Flowers, the former first-round bust, joined the Jacksonville Jaguars last October after the Giants cut him midway through the 2018 season. December 29, 2017, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants general manager Dave Gettleman addresses the media at Quest Diagnostics Training Center. Mandatory credit, Vincent Carcietta. USA Today Sports. Vincent Carcietta. Dave Gettleman has made a series of head-scratching moves that sometimes seem to contradict each other. Meanwhile, a fan base already angered by nearly a decade of failure gets whiplash trying to figure him out. So what is Gettleman doing? Apparently only Gettleman knows. To the media and to the paying customers, he said on Monday that it's none of our business. He wants everyone to trust the process. He wants everyone to trust him. Gettleman on Odell Beckham trade. 0 hours 1 minute and 53 seconds. New York Giants GM Dave Gettleman gives his first public comments on why the team decided to trade away star receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. The Giants' decision to trade Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns for safety Jabril Peppers and a first and third round pick was purely a football decision. At least that is how GM Dave Gettleman is justifying it. The Giants GM addressed the trade that shocked the NFL last week on a conference call with reporters on Monday and insisted that the reason for making the deal was because they received an offer that was just too good to pass up. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning throws in the second quarter against the Tennessee Titans at MetLife Stadium. Robert Deutsch, USA Today Sports. Giants general manager Dave Gettleman has had enough of people criticizing Eli Manning. During a conference call on Monday, Gettleman launched a staunch defense of Manning, who will receive his $5 million roster bonus on Monday. This narrative that Eli's overpaid and can't play as a crock, Gettleman said. No, okay. Murray, the Giants are rounding out their receiving core in the wake of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. The team resigned Cody Latimer, the wide receiver announced on Twitter Sunday night, back for seconds. Let's go Big Blue. Ready to get back to work with the squad. Time to finish what I started last season, he tweeted. New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning reacts after throwing an interception to Indianapolis Colts free safety Malik Hooker during the second half at Lucas Oil Stadium. Michael McEldowney, Indy star via USA Today Network. By the end of the 2019 season, Eli Manning will have been paid more than any player in NFL history. And he's about to get $5 million closer to his goal. The Giants' 38-year-old quarterback will, as expected, get his $5 million roster bonus, yet another signal that Manning will be the Giants' starting quarterback this year. According to his contract, he is due the bonus if he's on the roster by the end of the 5th day of the league year. Technically, Sunday is 5 days after the start of the new league year, but Manning's bonus will kick in on Monday, according to an NFL source. November 11, 2018, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones walks off the field after warm-ups against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Mandatory credit, Eric Hartline. USA Today Sports. Eric Hartline, Jerry Jones is head over heels that Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer in the NFC East. The Cowboys owner joined Fox Sports 1 on Saturday night before the Errol Spence-Mikey Garcia fight at it. How do you feel about that? New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning, 10, stands next to general manager Dave Gettleman during NFL football training camp, Wednesday, April 25, 2018, in East Rutherford, NJ. AP photo, Julio Cortez, AP. Dave Gettleman has made it clear he wants to find the Giants quarterback of the future, and he seems intent on doing it sooner than later. But don't be so sure that he'll do it in the draft this year. Despite the fact that the Giants have 2 first-round picks, and are in good position at No. 6 to take one of the first quarterbacks available, multiple NFL sources caution that the Giants seem to have other things in mind. They are looking into all the first-round quarterbacks, and taking one is definitely a possibility, a team source said. September 9, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley, 26, celebrates his touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars with offensive tackle Nate Solder, 76, and wide receiver Sterling Shepard, 87, during the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. The touchdown was the first of his NFL career. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. The Giants were 5-11 last year and missed the playoffs for the 6th time in 7 seasons, and now the consensus seems to be that things will only get worse. There's little hope outside the Meadowlands after GM Dave Gettleman tossed Odell Beckham Jr., Landon Collins and Olivier Vernon away. Yet Gettleman still thinks he can build a winner this season. Even new receiver Golden Tate insisted, "I don't think we're as far off as people may think." Pat Shurmur has pointed to the 12 games the Giants played last season which were decided by a touchdown or less, including 8 they lost, as a sign that it's a short leap to competitive football. Are they all delusional? Or is there really a chance the Giants could be good? January 5, 2019, Arlington, Texas, USA. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, 3, in action during an NFC wildcard playoff football game between the Cowboys and the Seahawks at it. Mandatory credit, Jerome Myron. USA Today Sports. Jerome Myron. Russell Wilson joined the Yankees on Friday in Tampa as a minor leaguer, but the topic of conversation remained focused on football, particularly New York Giants football. The Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns last week, a move that surprised many around the league, including the Seahawks quarterback. December 10, 2017, Glendale, Arizona, USA. Arizona Cardinals defensive tackle Olsen Pierre, 72, sacks Tennessee Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota, 8, during the first half at University of Phoenix Stadium. Mandatory credit, Matt Cardozian. USA Today Sports. Matt Cardozian. The Giants have added yet another former Cardinal who played in James Bettcher's defense. On Friday, the team announced it signed defensive tackle Olsen Pierre, who went undrafted in 2015 and didn't appear in an NFL game until 2017. He had 30 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss and 9 QB hits across 14 games during that 2017 season when Bettcher was Arizona's defensive coordinator. Pierre had 12 tackles in 10 appearances last season. Dave Gettleman. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskaran. USA Today Sports. Danielle Parhiskaran. Ralph Vacchiano. Facebook, Twitter, archive. Just 15 months ago, the Giants hired Dave Gettleman to fix the franchise. He earned praise for a series of early house-cleaning moves. He seemed tough and honest, and it looked like he had a handle on the franchise's biggest problems. Now, suddenly, his new title is Embattled GM. New York Giants cornerback Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, 41, defends against the Dallas Cowboys during an NFL football game, Sunday, September 10, 2017, in Arlington, Texas. AP photo, Michael Ainsworth. AP, another former Giants defensive back is heading to D.C. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie is coming out of retirement to join Landon Collins with the Washington Redskins. Rodgers-Cromartie posted a picture of himself signing with the Redskins on Instagram, although the terms of the deal remain unclear. December 2, 2018, Foxborough, MA, USA, Minnesota Vikings tackle Mike Remmers, 74, at the line of scrimmage during the third quarter against the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. Mandatory credit, Greg M. Cooper. USA Today Sports. Greg M. Cooper. The Giants are meeting with offensive lineman Mike Remmers on Friday, and it is possible he could be the final piece of Big Blue's O-line puzzle. After trading for Kevin Zeidler, the Giants have shored up the entire offensive line with the exception of right tackle, which currently belongs to Chad Wheeler. Here's what you need to know about the 29-year-old, 6-year veteran, Remmers. January 14, 2018, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman Mike Remmers, 74, celebrates after the game against the New Orleans Saints at U.S. Bank Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Rempel. USA Today Sports. Brad Rempel. Ralph Vacchiano. Facebook, Twitter, archive. The Giants have made far more headlines from the players they've lost than the players they've gained in free agency so far, whether it was from signings or trades. They entered the market with many holes to fill. And even after signing receiver Golden Tate and edge rusher Marcus Golden on Thursday night, they still have a bunch more to fill. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a lot of salary cap space to spend. But there are still a few players left on the market who could be a fit. Giants add veteran Golden Tate. 0 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. New York Giants add veteran receiver Golden Tate on a 4-year, $37.5 million deal. NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano discusses the signing. Ralph Vacchiano. Facebook, Twitter, archive. Buried at the bottom of the Giants press release announcing the big Odell Beckham Jr. trade on Wednesday, was a quote from GM Dave Gettleman about his off-season plan. "You can win while you build a roster," he said. And the deal he struck with receiver Golden Tate on Thursday is proof he's going to try. October 14, 2018, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Arizona Cardinals defensive end Marcus Golden, 44, celebrates during the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Vikings at US Bank Stadium. Mandatory credit, Bryce Hemmelgarn. USA Today Sports. Bryce Hemmelgarn. After making the splash of signing W.R. Golden Tate on Thursday night, the Giants switched to defense and signed OLB Marcus Golden to a 1-year deal, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. The Giants were in the market for an edge rusher after the Olivier Vernon trade to the Browns, and they're banking on Golden to be an immediate impact player in his place. He will be playing on a prove-it deal as his recent seasons warrant. Golden was a former second-round choice by the Cardinals back in 2015, and he totaled 4 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, and 30 combined tackles in 15 games that year. It was in 2016, though, that he broke out with 12.5 sacks, 51 combined tackles, and 22 quarterback hits. the Giants have already found a receiver to take Odell Beckham Jr.'s place, as veteran WR Golden Tate has agreed to a 4-year deal with Big Blue. CAA Football, who Tate is represented by, made the deal official with a Twitter announcement. Tate's deal is worth $37.5 million over the 4 years, with $23 million in guaranteed money, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. Coming out to $9.375 million per season, that is slightly lower than Spotric's market value for Tate at $10.2 million. It was just yesterday that the Giants' shocking trade to send Beckham to the Browns was made official, but GM Dave Gettleman wasted no time finding his immediate replacement. He brings in a 9-year veteran with reliable hands, and the ability to run any route down the field. October 11, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 15 adjusts his helmet during the fourth quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner. USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. Since the Giants made the shocking deal to send Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns, there have been mixed reviews from New York fans and NFL fans around the world. On one side, fans are upset to see Beckham, arguably a top 10 player in the league, off the Giants. But there are also the fans that are saying good riddance to no. 13, who they believe was a cancer to the team. Well, Beckham made sure to clarify the latter theory on Twitter with a little sarcasm. New York Giants Landon Collins, 21, returns an interception for a touchdown during the first half of a preseason NFL football game against the New York Jets Saturday, August 26, 2017, in East Rutherford, NJ. AP photo, Julio Cortez, AP. The Giants let Landon Collins walk, and now they'll be facing a motivated 3-time Pro Bowler twice each season through 2024. Collins, who signed a 6-year deal with the Redskins, with $45 million guaranteed, talked Thursday about facing his former team. "Yes, the game is circled on my calendar," Collins said during a radio appearance on 106.7 in Washington, D.C. Denny Medley, with Odell Beckham Jr. gone. The Giants are in need of help at wide receiver, and they have reached out to one potential replacement, reports Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News. According to Leonard, the Giants have reached out to the representatives for free agent WR Chris Hogan, who has spent the last 3 seasons with the Patriots after spending the first 4 years of his career with the Bills. The 30-year-old Hogan, who has gotten a lot of work in the slot but is more versatile than that, had 35 receptions for 532 yards and 3 touchdowns last season while playing 15 games. August 9, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, 13, during warm-up at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Noah K. For USA Today Sports, Noah K. Murray. After brief comments on Wednesday, former Giants WR Odell Beckham Jr. was in full reflection mode on Thursday morning, the day after his shocking trade to the Browns became official. So many mixed emotions and